right. Should be streaming now. Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Looks like the built-in image assets for this scene have finally gone down.
Indeed.
They were probably hosted on like the Mozilla Reticulum server. I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that.
Hello, hello.
Hey. I was just noticing that the built-in hubs assets in this scene have expired finally.
Oh,
Yeah, I definitely need to take a weekend to work more on the community edition deployment. Need to figure out how to get it to like work with a custom Docker image, and also I need to, I guess, figure out a way to fix the scene.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
hello.
Yeah, so there was. I was talking with Bela earlier, who mentioned that he would be interested in doing a presentation at a meetup on something he's been working on, but I don't know if he's going to be here today. How's everybody else been, though?
Busy. Mostly. And not even with WebXR.
Just like life in general, or?
Yeah, also, yeah. Trying to work on my WebXR game a little bit. In between everything, but it's not going as fast as I was hoping to. But
I mean, I've been keeping up with your Farpoint Farm stuff. It's looking really good.
yeah, I want to prove. I want to prove once and for all that a game can look really good in WebXR. A real game. It started out as a Unity game. I actually bought some assets to get things to work in Unity for volumetric lighting and those kind of things. But I think I can fake it as well in WebXR. I have some ideas.
Nice. Yeah, I've got kind of two projects I'm ideating on at the moment. One of them, I moved it into Wonderland not that long ago. It's kind of like a maybe vaguely horror-ish slash surreal-ish exploration thing, which mostly been playing around with like animations and other stuff like that. And then the other one is kind of a bigger scale, kind of like RPG type thing where I'm tying together a few different things. I'm rolling my own 3JS bit ECS kind of mini engine thing. I'm using VRMs for the models. I just started integrating Recast to figure out navigation stuff, which is interesting because that's the one thing I haven't had a lot of experience with, but should be pretty cool. And then I have Rapier Physics enabled, and it's coming together. I need to figure out weapon behaviors and like NPC stuff, and I'm also using the UI kit for Vanilla 3JS for my UI, which has been neat to play around with.
Cool.
Images were hosted on Project Columbia. Yeah, that figures. Which the spoke files are hosted locally, yeah. So it should just I should be able to just kind of like jump in there and edit it and not have to go through spoke directly. I actually don't know what spoke files look like internally. If it's just like a JSON thing or.
Yeah, right. So spoke file is actually a JSON file which has all the data to where the URLs are pointed towards, and it's actually I've also made a tool around this to migrate it. I will just DM it to you. Like there are few last
Mm.
things to change, and if you host it on your subdomain, you can sign in and do stuffs around that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, I will share you a link to try it out.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah. In fact, like if we have time here, I can show that how it works.
Mm-hmm. Think you've
Should I go ahead?
um in just a second, yeah. Oh, Matt, appreciate the redecorating effort.
Okay, I think it was someone else. Oh, Matt. Hey, Matt.
Hello.
Matt is here.
Okay, but yeah, you said you want to show the
Yeah.
process.
So okay. So I'm sharing my screen.
Mm.
Mm, okay. Here I go.
Mm. Ooh.
Okay. So here is the tool that I have, and here you can write the host whatever you want. So for example, uh, we have a testing server here, and this is my email. I will click on login, and it will send me the magic link to my inbox. So yeah, so there's a link. I will click on it, and it will sign me in. Okay, so I'm signed in, and the files that we downloaded, they had the directory in this manner where all the files were pointed in. Uh, all the files were downloaded as per the spoke scene ID. Okay, this is the sorry spoke project ID. These are the project IDs that the spoke project had, and all the files that we had. So of this, we see a dot spoke file and some dot jpeg and dot glb files which are useful. Jpeg, png, and glb files. Other dot bin, json, and others are just for our safety. And here we have three steps. So the first step is to upload file to the servers. So I can click in, and it will upload to this, and this is what I'm logged in as. So I will select any asset that I want to upload, and suppose this is the asset. Actually, it doesn't work this way. Let me go to download a real project. So, for example, okay, suppose I just create a simple ground plane, and I upload something here. Let's say I'm uploading image1.ag. So I can see that this is an asset that I already have, okay, which I have uploaded it here, and this is going to be my project. So I can download this project as export legacy spoke project. So there I get the spoke file, and as I have downloaded this project, I will get like the UUIDs of the file. Actually, I right now don't have the project, but if we hold it for a moment, I will just bring my pen drive where I have the files.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm. Yeah, on the topic of hubs, as well, I saw yesterday that a couple of the remaining hubs team members' final days is, if not today, then like I think very soon now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back. Thank you for waiting. So, where I have downloaded the project, my project looked something like this, where I had with my email all the files, and this was the spoke folder where I was showing the example. So, for example, this scene GKPDQCW, this was the file, and I can see the asset like this was the scene, and the images on the walls they were broken. So this particular image, this image, and we can see the names that it comes with C43527666. So this is the UUID of the image, the UUID which it was assigned while uploading the file. So what I have to do is in my file here, I have to take all the files which I think could be useful, and I drop it here. So some of the files which are not allowed to upload are rejected here, like the .gltf, JSON, and all this, and all other useful files like the .jpg, this one, and all this are accepted to upload. So then I just have to click on this upload, and it will one by one it will upload all the files, which it should. Okay, actually, I haven't added much of feedbacks here to show the real progress on how this works, but we can assume that the files are uploading right now. Okay, so first file is uploaded, second file is also uploaded. You can see the response and everything. The changes that I have on local, that those changes, there we have proper feedbacks for uploads and everything. So these are some more changes, some more uploads, and so suppose like right now that those files are getting uploaded, I can meanwhile go to mm, a new page, and I can proceed to migrate the spoke file. I've actually explained here so that we can understand that we when we go to migrate the spoke file, we have to first choose the spoke file which we want to migrate. So suppose, yeah, this is the spoke file. I select this file, and it detects all the links which were pointed to reticulum. Okay, so I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links which are pointed to reticulum, and also in this entire file I can see them highlighted. Yeah, so this one, so I can actually search for and understand what they actually point to. So this is the nav mesh src, which is pointed to this, and
If I scroll down to the bottommost part, okay, not like actually this is not the production version, so we have some things missing. But now this file which I have uploaded, I can replace this with something else. Like first, let me copy it and search it, so I can understand that this is the navmesh src. uh, I have used IndexedDB to store this file. So I go to all file list and mm, should be able to see the data here. Mm, okay, this is 0 bytes. Maybe I'm missing something. I think I'm actually missing something here, due to which I'm not able to see the files that were uploaded here in the index DB. Maybe I can show on localhost 3000. That should actually have the files in index. Okay, so here is the list that all the files which are uploaded. Okay, so this is on my local host, so everything is stored locally, whatever we see. So this particular URL, which is now pointing to the latest server which is active, and where I uploaded the file. So I can go and I can see what is uploaded at on this URL. Okay, so suppose if I go back to uploading files, I can still see that this will upload to this server and with this URL. So let me try to upload one image for now. So I will upload this image. Okay, so this is uploading and this is uploaded to this particular URL. And if I go back to the migrate part, so here I can see the second file, which is something file named like this, which is pointing to this server. So when I now choose my spoke file, it should actually show me some relevance. Okay, so now again we have this many files which are okay. I can try uploading few more files. Okay, so the third file that I've uploaded, we should be able to see some relevance. some occurrence that is there. Mm, okay. This is also not it, but once this is complete, we will be able to see something around uh, the files. AA7. Still, suppose by chance if I change this URL, if I select that this should be my new link, I will be able to all the files that we see here. These are pointed right now to uploadsprod.reticulum.io. If I change this, if I update all the links, the migration is successful, and uh, now I can see all links are pointed to the new server, and I can download the changes. So let us wait for the download. Okay, yeah, we got the file downloaded. Now, when I have a new Spoke project, I can import this Spoke file, the latest one. So we can see that all the files which I've uploaded were the same files. This was the latest file which I uploaded. The third file was this one. But I also pointed the GLB files to the same link, so we see a failed GLB here. Okay. So this is about the migration tool which we can actually use to migrate the Spoke files, and this is how Spoke files actually work.
Hmm.
So Spoke files were originally created by the Hubs team to have a new standard just like GLTF. Okay, that's it.
Hmm. I see. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone for listening. uh, really appreciate your patience.
Hmm. Yeah. No,
Thank
it's
you.
good to know it's human readable. So if need be, I can just kind of dive in there and swap some things out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, has anyone? Do you know if anyone's made any guides on deploying the hub's client from a custom image? You probably need to like upload something to Docker Hub and then like change one of the YAML files or something, right?
Yeah, yes. So actually, I have written a documentation for deployment, and in that I have included how to deploy it to Docker Hub and change the image name and the image pull policy. Uh, so actually now the Hubs docs are down, so uh,
Hmm.
that one is not available on as an article, but it is uploaded as a markdown file. So I can share the link.
Mhm.
Is the hub's documentation on GitHub somewhere? The original?
I
Yeah,
think
yes.
docshubfoundation.org also has like a mirror, right?
Oh, yeah, yes. But that is for the documentation, yes. And if you want to see the creator labs,
Oh, it was like an article on the Creator Labs thing.
yeah, yes, yes, yes.
It seems documentation is still there. Docs is still running.
Yeah,
All the
exactly.
other pages just show a link to end of support and don't do anything anymore. But
Mm. Oh, yeah, it's also something that needs to be done with Community Edition is probably stripping out the Mozilla branding and going forward.
Yeah.
Jen, how's it going?
Hubs, we also have add-ons which are very close
What's
to
up?
launch.
Anything new in your neck of the woods?
Doing a Voxels art contest that ends tonight at midnight.
Mm.
Got 20 submissions or something so far.
Nice.
And yeah, it's like 1,000 Matic, so about $600 prize pot right now. I'm basically trying to get people to experiment and show off what interoperability looks like through art. So, made available a subsection of OG wearables, converted them all to GLTF with metadata inside of them, and uploaded multiple formats, including smooth voxels format. And I'm looking forward to see what people are gonna create now that it's not just Magica voxel format. But yeah, other than that, working on some data pipelines for converting Zoom meetings into AI summaries and 3D assets, so I can create a virtual war room out of them. And that'll be for before SIGGRAPH next month. Gonna try and create a virtual SIGGRAPH.
Nice.
Came out pretty good. It's like, for example, I'll just try and share one of these. This is a poster that was generated from one of the Zoom meeting recordings. So it's a Python script that uses face recognition to remove all the frames with faces in them, and then OpenCV and to find similar frames and only keep unique frames after I dump all the frames with FFmpeg. And then it creates this depending on how many unique images there's left, it'll create a nice power of 2 grid, and then next is some Blender pipelines.
Interesting.
Yeah, the goal is and it's kind of interesting going through all of them because it's like, wow, there's a lot of Zoom meetings and Google Docs and presentations, and not much dog fooding of the actual metaverse. But I want to create the assets that we can have meetings kind of like what we're actually doing right now, but imagine the meeting room is already pre-populated with notes for each working group. So if you're a new person, you're not just walking into an empty office that, you have kind of zero context of what's been discussed, talked about, what people are working on, etc. You can kind of absorb in the environment, and also it can help to synchronize what other people are working on at other working groups. So if, a world hop could kind of give you a whole overview of the entire forum. And I've been kind of doing this on the side while doing the digital fashion group sort of responsibilities as co-chair. And now, like, the thing that I'm doing while doing the main thing is getting a lot more interest. Other than that, I got basically like a Zoom meeting transcript to like Markdown pipeline through Olama. I'm using 5.3 from Microsoft, and I got the 14 bill model running locally, and it's summarizing things really nicely. So I'm basically able to export consistent JSON. If I can just find a screenshot, let me see. All right, yeah, here. So here's like just a sample. I basically have a LLM kind of doing a pass per each section. So it's like multiple passes for each section to get as much notes as possible, and then another LLM to combine notes that are similar and sort of also kind of make sure it's following the format that I want. And yeah, I've basically there are still a little bit of like spelling mistakes here and there, but I just find that when you kind of building AI pipelines, think of like building a small team where they can kind of check each other's work. So I got that in a script that I'll open source later. But yeah, from a transcript, a VTT file, which Zoom provides, you can get some really nice markdown notes, and then I convert the markdown to JSON, and then that's where I'm kind of like thinking, what else can I do now that I've got all these markdown notes to JSON? So I've been looking at the Open Canvas file format, which is kind of like this file format for Obsidian's Infinite Canvas tool, but now a bunch of other tools are building interoperability with it, and there's a whole bunch of libraries for such. And I've been joining their working group calls, and it's really cool because they're like dog fooding, like using these Canvas tools while talking about interop as well. But like, I wonder if I can go from Markdown into something where I can kind of turn meeting notes or GitHub discussions, like into not just like kind of stuck in this 2D grid, because they're kind of, I mean, this could be like a UV map, you know what I mean? Like the unique images could maybe be broken up into some kind of cool object, but I'm thinking from this markdown to once I convert it to JSON, then maybe I can get positions or I just import it straight into Blender. I'm not sure. That's where I'm like thinking what's next.
Mm.
I'm kind of leaning towards force directed graphs. That would be cool. Like if you could click a node and it opens up some notes, and I don't know, maybe you could see connections between other stuff, but yeah, not sure yet.
Mm.
I've only in passing I've heard of LogSec. I've seen other people use it. I haven't looked too much into it myself. All right.
Oh yeah, something I've been thinking about lately. Does anyone know if there is like, if anyone's making a list of Vision Pro compatible WebXR experiences that are available right now? because I know that like Escape Artist specifically was working on getting like proper hand tracking support for everything, but they're the only ones I can think of off the top of my head that I know were like specifically tuning for Vision Pro support. Awesome Vision OS.
Yeah, that's all I know about.
Yeah, because I was like, if there's no like good WebXR specific one, I was thinking about maybe throwing up another file onto the awesome WebXR list. I think that could be interesting. Because there's also like the thing with the Vision OS Safari too is that they don't have like the immersive experience start page that every other standalone headset has out there. Not even headset, just like browser, like because Wolvik has its own Meta new tab page, Pico new tab page. So yeah, maybe I'll dig into that.
Yeah, I do have a list with MR apps, not only for Vision Pro, but I'm not sure if I can share that. Someone sent a Google Doc, shared a Google Doc with I think over 220 apps and tools. A couple of them are, but they're not WebXR. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky to get one through work.
A Vision Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't fully understand the device.
Yeah.
Like it's where it fits in the. It's cool and all, but is it really going to change anything?
Just like where it fits in the like ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think the Vision Pro as it is right now is a hard sell to anyone that's not either like a VR or Apple enthusiast that and or is also not like a developer trying to get in early.
Yeah.
I remember reading there's rumors that the like lower spec Vision headset that they might be working on next will be like phone tethered, which I don't know. I know that it's running on like Apple Silicon still technically, but still feels kind of like a downgrade. Oh, it's been a while since I've managed to catch a Meetup live. So, is there anyone here who this is the first Meetup that they're joining? Hey, um, if you like, feel free to introduce yourself. No pressure if not, though. You do also still have a default name right now if you wanted to change that. I believe it is opening up more and then change name and avatar in the bottom right. Although you have hands, so you're in VR right now, so you would need to hop out of immersive in order to do that, unfortunately. And then also, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Yeah,
I think the audio is not working.
yeah, 'cause I can see him like gesturing.
Yes, the gestures are there. It looks like you can see the talking gestures, but unfortunately, mic is not working,
Yeah.
or it's not sharing, or
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, too
Sorry.
bad.
But yeah, Heather, the headset freezing immersively on message is definitely something I want to try and fix. Oh no, do we still have the thing where you can't grab the pen? Oh no. Yeah, I remember that was people were talking about that as an issue. I think it did get fixed. It has to do with the I think somebody accidentally crossed over with like a bit ECS code path or something that was breaking it. So yeah, that's also why I want to get the custom client so I can fix a couple of the like nagging things that are still in there. Yeah, yeah. I was originally in that HTML to Canvas PR. I still need to like dig in, get like local hubs running so I can figure out the best way to fix that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You can avoid freezing chat by using Discord or making text into object. I think I tried the text into object one before, but I think the reason that one worked was because it it wasn't doing the rendering for the chat bubble on the person's headset or something. I think it like if you were on desktop, it would do that and then add that as an asset, which I guess didn't have the overhead of generating it. I think that's how that one worked. It's been a while though, so I would need to look at it again. But
Yeah, that sounds right. Just for the sake of those in VR, I would
mhm.
avoid using chat so it doesn't freeze up for them for now.
Yeah, it should be something too that like I guess the Hubs Foundation like programming team. I know they were starting to work on a roadmap, but I don't know if there's any. I don't know if they've actually had that meeting yet. Because I know I put myself on the list for it, but like the proposed meeting time was like midnight my time zone or something. But yeah, it might be good to coordinate on that. Anyone else working on projects right now that they'd care to share about? Doesn't even necessarily have to be WebXR related if you've got like another big thing you're working on.
Mm, I have something I've just recently been working in the past month on Hub's hosting solution.
Mm.
So I've almost got it, and it is up for everyone. It's in beta until 15th, until 16th July, for the next 15 days, and already got the alpha testers for this past 1 month, and they're quite happy of the performance. Like, although I have just hosted it because it's just Hub's code base and everything. Uh, Worked really well there. So they didn't complain about speeds and audio or uh, loading times, and in fact, they found it to be faster as compared to uh, what they were using previously. So,
Hmm.
which which is good.
So
Uh,
this is like a
like,
managed like Hubs Community Edition web
yeah,
service. Mm.
yes, exactly. So right now, like, I was actually planning to do something like this, but possibly in the month of August or uh, late late end of the year, something around this time. So still, like, it was a good thing. I thought that, okay, let us see what the blockers are and what problems are. So try to deep dive into Kubernetes and all this stack, and try to dive deeper, understand some concepts, and also overlook the things before. So those things I had a look again, and I understood, okay, like these are some of the notions that the industry has over these many years, but people who are well aware of the latest techs and trends, they know that, okay, these things have this problems has been solved. uh, so, like, for example, which I refer to is here is, people have been trying to use an external database, a database not in Kubernetes itself. So, which many people say that, it's very bad to have it in Kubernetes and have all sorts of problems like this. But Hub's Community Edition is really good with PG Bouncer and all those things set up, so we can actually have it inside of Kubernetes. And I asked some people in other Discord where they had home operations and Kubernetes understanding databases. So they said that it's a thing of the past. Earlier, they had problems with uh, databases, so every other company preferred to keep it on a very isolated environment and try to give it the most resources possible. But right now, we can have it in Kubernetes and make sure that it scales however we want to.
How many
So
instances do you have running on your thing right now, if you don't mind sharing?
right now with the alpha testers, I have around 12 to 13 people who are 12 to 13 instances, and they're using it. So I think, like, with the current setup, I can occupy up to 50 people. No, I think I can occupy up to 100 people. So that is why I'm going for 50 people.
Hmm.
So so I'm
what
actually opening the beta for this many people right now.
What's the how are you doing hosting? Are you using like a managed Kubernetes like service from
So
somewhere, or like running your own cluster stuff?
I'm using completely Kubernetes only. I've just optimized some of the things to, like, for every person, I give them their own reticulum, spoke, hubs, everything they have.
Mm-hmm.
And but the database is one centralized database, like one database which we have inside of Kubernetes itself, and like have increased some of the settings like the max connection and uh, yeah, the max connection, and for the PG bouncer, the pooling capacity. So, like, if you are to get your instance here, you will get your own reticulum. So you have your own admin panel, your own custom config, everything you have. And with that, you can also store the data on data here. So typically, also data storage, how people do is they use an external storage mechanism, like they store it externally on some server. So I have followed that, but I just wanted to have a faster way of getting data and having it. So what I'm doing is the storage that I have, it is linked to the S3 bucket, and it is constantly replicating with S3. So whatever files I upload on S3, it will show up in this as well. And whatever I upload here, upload, download, do whatever, it will be there as well. So if the data is lost, I create it again, the data will be back there. For this purpose, there is a operator. It's called data shim. I will type in the chat. So I'm actually using this for giving people storage, because with hosting the main problem would be if people's data is lost, then everything is gone. So, and for Postgres, we have written a cron job where it takes a backup every hour in UTC time. So every 1 hour we get all the data and it is uploaded to S3 bucket. So we have tried to keep the cost minimum because we're keeping everything inside of the cluster. At the most, what we will be paying for extra would be like some of the bandwidth charges and stuffs like this. So right now I'm launching it for the people, for the beta users at 32 USD per month, and with that they have around like 40 concurrent users capacity on their server, and it will be 24/7 up and live. uh, because I don't have the way also I don't have the need to pause the instance, because yeah, actually I don't have the need, because anyways if I shut it down or do anything like that, they still have to pay for it. Like I still have to, or they have to, whoever.
Hmm.
So uh, that's the thing. So I think like the plan is up till like, if I get 30 users, that would be after 30 users it will be a break even. Not 30 users, 35 users, it will be a break even, which I'm very much sure about. 100%. Yeah, so this is what I've been working on, and this excites me a little bit,
Nice, yeah.
a lot.
I'm glad to hear that like there's still a decent amount of interest in like people continuing to run hubs for their own purposes.
Yeah, Hubs is so far like still way ahead of time for everyone to understand. Like not everyone, like I mean the other people to understand how to use it and what power it brings. Because with the add-ons that we have right now, it offers a complete marketplace of all the features. Like you can develop some custom client features and everything. And just like npm, you have packages hosted on npm, you can have your add-ons hosted somewhere which people can install directly from the admin panel, and people can use it in the rooms however they want. So like the duck, if I type slash duck here, I can see the duck uh, spinning up. With the add-ons, this part of code, this part of code is also bit of not needed, kind of. So this has also been turned into add-ons by the hubs team themselves. So and some of other things like portals and yeah, these are the two which are going to be part of add-ons, and we might see a example very soon, like in the coming 1 or 2 days, on how add-ons are going to be used, and it's going to change. Because as we know, behavior graphs, uh, where we can add interactions directly from Blender. So I've made a few videos on them to educate people how to install the add-on, and I can share a link on.
Spatial web WordPress.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And the video is bit in low, like only one part of the screen has been uploaded, but it's an entire series which takes you from installing the add-on to creating a basic scene where you can click the cube to show a basic notification message. I'm going to add some more videos in the series, and maybe I will redo this with a better quality so that everyone would find it more interesting to watch it, because this was still part of the hobby, like just making myself familiar with YouTube video making part.
Mm.
So knowing that how much efforts the Hubs team has put and uh, how much potential this holds, it is very fascinating to be fortunate to work with something like Hubs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm very thankful to Matt because Matt is the first person whom I met from the Hubs team.
Hey.
Yeah, same here. Well, I
Yeah.
think I technically may have
Keep it
talked to
alive.
Brian like a little before I talked to you, Matt, but probably not by like that much.
Well, Brian is a much better entry point than me.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because it was he was the mod of the WebVR subreddit. So I think our first communication happened there when I was like first launching the WebXR Discord.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I gained like 20 IQ points just being in the same room as Brian.
I joined late, bit late to interact with Brad, but I have seen lots of his messages and they have helped me a lot to understand how things work. And it's Hubs is best for me.
Matt, how things been with you? Any
Yeah, I'm
interesting?
very happy to see the Hubs Foundation get control.
Mhm.
So I was kind of working behind the scenes, helping with that, and just
Nice.
happy to see that result.
Yeah, because I know it was kind of up in the air for a bit whether they were going to be able to keep the hub's Discord around or not.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, yep. So yeah, it all worked out.
Mhm. So with Michael and I don't know his actual name, but Kazan Ho.
Manuel, yeah, that's
Mm.
Manuel. Yep,
Are
they're
they the last like hub's team members like
they were
still on
the
there
last.
or?
Yeah, they were the skeleton crew piloting it down, and we had Gung as well, who was doing the infrastructure work. So it was basically those three handling everything the last 3-4 months,
Mm,
and honestly, they did a really awesome job of just like so many tasks and things to do.
I can
And
only imagine.
yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't really. I was sort of like supporting and very limited, but so it was just all them. So they did a great job, much better than I think what we did with mixed reality. I think we it really did a lot better at just like tying up loose ends and all those things.
Yeah,
So
because like I don't know the specifics of how mixed reality team was kind of shut down, but I remember there's a lot of like loose hanging
there's a
stuff
lot of
like
hanging. Yeah, yeah,
jumpy
exactly.
balls. Like the link to that
Yeah,
on the new tab page right now is my rehosting of it because it
yeah, yeah,
never got moved.
yep, yep.
And also Hello WebXR. That one I was more upset about being just like left to the wayside because that's the WebXR like
I
initial
know.
experience.
Like, yeah. I've looked into like so many of them too to try to, and it's like you get down, it's like you find one tail end, and then it's like, oh wait, there's another connecting piece here, and then you have to go track that down, and then it's like, oh wait, there's another piece, and it's just, yeah, you can never get down to the root.
Yeah. Thank you, Mozilla.
Thank you.
How's community manager stuff going?
It's all right. Yeah, I'm trying to do more spatial web stuff, in my spare time. So I'm working on a mixed reality card game right now, but it's
Mm.
very slow progress. So I have nothing good to share with everybody with all these legends here.
No worries. Yeah, I saw someone else was doing so one of the play canvas guys said they were doing like an in-house like TCG thing with WebGL. I don't know if it's going to be WebXR or not, but
Mm.
I remember thinking it looked neat.
Yeah, I'm excited about Source Scoot's game. Uh, that looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah. Right now it mainly looks.
But that was the
Yeah,
initial
the big-
goal you set, so you are
Sorry?
succeeding.
Sorry, I missed.
I was
What'd you
saying
say?
like looking good was one of the initial goals you set, so you are succeeding right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I try to get a setup right where I can use. I correctly used baked textures, baked light maps, and normal textures together, and not completely baked textures. In the past, I always baked the textures completely into one. I did a Christmas game a few years ago, and in that game, all textures were completely baked. And now I have normal textures on one UV channel and baked lighting on another channel. And on top of that, I baked the ambient occlusion separately to add a little bit extra darkness onto the textures. That gives a little bit more effect. Um, and the normal textures are actually just 128 by 128 pixels, so it's very low res. But then there is a very high res, and I was actually experimenting yesterday. They're 1K now, the light maps, but I'm thinking of updating them to 2K just to get a little bit less artifacts in the maps. But it's going pretty well. I plan on interacting with doors next, so you can better walk around. And,
Have you seen that one talk? I think it's from Valve where it's like 30 minutes just talking about like implementing doors in VR.
No, I haven't seen it. I've so the first version of the game I did in Unity. I was first thinking of doing the game in Unity, but when I was working on it, I started to dislike it again. The workflow with WebXR is so unique,
Mm-hmm.
and it works so well. Um, but yeah, there are a lot of libraries for VR in Unity, like it's the interaction framework, I think it's called. That has a lot of things with doors in there, and you can just grab a door and it works. There's a lot of hinges and things you can work with on doors, and that one works pretty well. But now I want to recreate that in Wonderland at some point. At first, it's just going to be more like point and click, like um, like we did with Dead Secret Circle. That's exactly how that Secret Circle was built and how we ported it. But it's a really simple way of interacting. Um, just point at something and then click and something happens. Um, and I want to focus on the graphics and on the story first, and then I'm going to see if I can do more with the interactions.
Mm-hmm.
But time is flying.
Yeah.
So after the summer, there's JS13K I need to participate in. I just have to. So that's a month I cannot work on it. And then I was working on a horror game last year for Halloween and Christmas, or basically Christmas. And I was actually thinking of switching to that again after JS13K. So that means I need to pass this until next year, this game. Or maybe I'll abandon that other game and just continue this one.
The curse of the ever-growing backlog.
Yes. And there's so little time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's probably like 6 or 7 projects on my backlog right now that have kind of like fallen by the wayside, and I just have the 2 that I really want to work on right now.
Yep. That's why I'm trying to get good at AI to just help finish my stuff.
Well, that's actually my other project.
Oh yeah, with Rosie and
Yes.
all that.
Tell us.
I just realized that I just tested it a few minutes ago. that I could bring it to VR as well, to AR as well. Um, I didn't even think of that at, until now.
Think about it.
So
Future co-working spaces are going to be humans and AIs. Just kind of sharing a space. You could kind of like, have you seen the Devon demos where Devon's just kind of like got their own station set up, and it's kind of like a tile window screen in a browser. But imagine that as like, they've got their own desk in a virtual office. You can walk over to your, robot army, see what they're working on. That's how I envision this stuff kind of scaling for indie projects and teams, where it's kind of like monitoring software for VMs, but add an avatar in front of the desk and like some screens as to like what they're working on, researching. It's gonna get to that point.
I'm almost there. Can I
Oh.
share this in there? I just got this image. Ah, is that image now in here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Is that your
just
assistant?
I just took that image.
Oh.
It's weird. It's absolutely weird seeing her in 3D. I have not tried it before.
Does she blink?
She blinks. Have you seen the videos?
I don't think I have.
I have one on YouTube. I think. Let me quickly check.
Yeah, I remember seeing you made like a couple Twitter posts. That was the first I saw of it.
Yeah. I did a whole blog post about it.
What
as
are you
well.
using? Are you using OpenAI or your own LLM?
OpenAI. It's OpenAI on Azure.
Okay.
Everything is running on Azure still. And it's actually I started Rosie 3 or 4 years ago as a bot for Twitch. And I started implementing GPT-2, I think it was. And then I built this chat thing where I can do text to speech and send it over, and she would talk back. And I basically built ChatGPT before there was ChatGPT. And at some point, ChatGPT came out, and I had my API I built was almost the same as what they did, so I could just change a few wordings, and it worked with ChatGPT. And now it's GPT. So it's not running on 4.0 yet, because I had to switch everything to Sweden at some point because that one had certain models I wanted to use. Basically, the latest models were in Sweden was the closest, and I don't.
Considered local, like, or do you not have a good GPU?
I have a good GPU. Um,
Have you tried Olama?
I have not tried Olama.
Check out Llama file too, because it works
So
on CPU.
I'm lucky that I'm a Microsoft MVP, and I can just I was gonna say 1,000,000 credits, but I don't have literally 1,000,000 credits, but it feels like that. It's pretty much it feels unlimited. If that somehow, if I'm not renewed, then I need to figure out something else, and then I will probably look into running everything local. I've got image generation local now as well. I've used it in here as well, and that works terrific. But there's a lot going on. It's not only ChatGPT; it's the text to speech, speech to text. It's the I've got a couple Azure functions running in the background. I can choose to invoke.
Or what are you using for vision?
You mean just like inserting an image in the chat?
Yeah, I just saw Florence 2 came out and looks pretty good. Lava, Florence 2 and Lava seems to be top 2 for vision.
I am just inserting it in the. It's They have I forgot the name. There's a specific version of GPT 4 Turbo, I think it was, that can do vision as well. And it's really fun. It's I normally have Rosie running all the time in the background. She's actually not running right now, which is funny because I haven't started there because I rebooted my PC right before the meeting. But she's running all day, and then I get like a screenshot with error messages in the Wonderland Discord, and then I'm like, I don't want to type this, so I ask Rosie to transcribe the error messages, and that just works perfectly.
You
It's
just ask. You're like,
yeah.
oh, that's
Do you
cool.
know? Do you and not even specifically? Just do you know what's wrong, basically, and then add that image, or do you know what's wrong with the error, maybe, and then you get an answer. It's not always right because it's probably about Wonderland latest versions, so it's probably not that specific. But you often get just even the message back. I'm yeah. It's just like you need to talk to like it's a real person. That works best. Just have a conversation. And I'm always polite. That always I think that helps.
Yeah.
I always say thank you at the end.
Well, I
You
mean,
just gotta be
I think
I
also
sound-
the avatar helps towards that as well.
yeah, let me. I was going to share this video. Can I just copy this link?
What do you think of the Gemini Nano like thing that they're building in with like the latest like Chrome Canary? Window.ai.
I have not looked into it. There's so much going on. I barely have time to work on my projects.
Yeah.
And keep up with WebXR and
That's the hope I see for this AI stuff is like, how can we clone ourselves or parts of ourselves to like take care of some various minutiae that takes time and frees up, our own time slots.
to have more time to do the dishes or something. That's right.
That's what I was thinking about too. I'm like, man. I mean, we have washing machines, but those telepresence arms, they need to get better.
Just imagining telling like digital clone to be like, "Hey, go tell me what's happening with WebXR lately," and then just getting like a nice report, maybe like
Actually, there is a way.
a couple minutes later.
I don't know if it's called Google News or what. MetaMike was researching this where he's got this pipeline that kind of like crawls the internet, kind of whatever is new, and then summarizes it. He's playing around with. I think the conversation came out of talking about RSS and yeah.
Yeah, you have RAG. I forgot what it stands for, but it's like storing information in a searchable way and adding that to your AI. And I have that set up for the Wonderland documentation, for WebXR documentation, and for Azure documentation. So I can ask specifics about WebXR, for example, and that isn't bound to whatever data the original was trained on. Um, I can just update if there is something new. If there's a new version of Wonderland, I can just update that data, and then um, and I haven't thought about setting something up that just every day updates, looks at if there's any news on an RSS feed, creates some data for that, and then
Yeah,
just stores that
apparently
in a database.
Google Alerts. It's you just. I'll just drop in a link. You can, if you have this as part of a pipeline, you could probably get alerts for whatever topic that you're interested in into some interesting digest or something.
Yeah, this whole thing is I kind of started prototyping something to this effect before like the LLM boom, which I just called like WebXR Ecosystem Explorer, and the idea was to kind of like this, just like collate all the different like places that I know new stuff pops up, like GitHub for one, and then the I think the blocker with it was I obviously Twitter was is a big spot for news, but Twitter API and all that. Not gonna shell out however much just to like.
What about Grok?
I don't have a strong opinion on Grok, but I just don't know that much about it in general.
It's pretty up to date. But yeah, same. I haven't messed with it. I need Blue, but I think it's like always being updated, so you could maybe query that for something.
But it was I basically
Actually,
just want the equivalent of like searching WebXR and then sorting by latest and just being able to get that.
Look to your left.
Oh yeah, is this the Google Alerts thing?
Yeah.
This is
Or
why I'm looking at YouTube for WebXR from time
And
to time.
YouTube, yes, that was the other one I had like managed to integrate in there, was searching with the YouTube API, which I think is also rate limited still.
But how much do you want to search for WebXR on YouTube?
I mean,
Then if you hit the rate limit.
fair. I don't know if it was rate or there was some kind of limit on the querying. I'd have to look at it again. I don't know if it's changed, but yeah, it would be interesting to have this to maybe pick this back up and just have like a nice thing I could look at and be like, oh, here's all the latest stuff all in one place.
Yeah, I was using some tool with just all kinds of RSS feeds.
Mm.
There are some tools to create
Ooh.
RSS feeds from other things, and those were in there as well. Yeah, there was so much going on. Ooh,
Yikes.
Stay. I wanted to say something about Grok Cloud, which I've tried before. So Grok is they have got their own LPU, which is LLM processing unit. So if you go to Grok Cloud website, which is grok.com, you will be able to see their results are very fast, and I've been seeing them to have so fast results, and it's been since November of 2023. So right now they are processing it very fast, and you can have their API to run it against their cloud services, which is just like equivalent to Azure. Only thing is you don't need GPUs there. You can run it through LPUs, so you have very fast results and very low computational things. And it is from the same person who built TensorFlow processing unit TPUs from while he was at Google. So it's very interesting, and just like OpenAI, we have our API credentials and everything from Grok Cloud to test it for free before getting too depth into it. So uh, we can try that out and see how it works for you.
it is pretty fast.
Yeah, I think source code you can differentiate it best based on your use case, how it is.
well, fast is my biggest challenge with Rosie.
Cool.
There's a lot happening. If you've seen that YouTube video, it's not the fastest I had it going at some point there, but it seems to depend on just things like time of day or something, as well a bit. But it's actually speech recognition, text to speech, speech to text back, running through a vocoder, sending out the visemes. It's happening very very fast, and then interpreting or calling into an LLM as well. So I'm really curious if Grok Cloud can do things like that even faster. I have not. I now realize I'm way behind all this.
Always something new.
Yeah, well, I just they have this. You can run all these models on Azure as well, so it does model-wise it doesn't really matter. Interesting.
Are you on the site too?
Yeah, I was just reading.
Yeah, they got like an API, and there's a Python and JavaScript library as well. Some others.
And a view code button. I like that.
I don't know. I feel like for me, there's my favorite cloud AI is Claude 3 Sonnet. It just one shots all the most complex tasks I've got, and then in between that, because it's like rate limited, much harder, I use ChatGPT. But then for all my personal offline or organization data that I don't want to upload to the cloud, 5.3 14 bill model, instruct models especially, because they're less chatty. It's really good to kind of write some scripts and automation for. But that's where I'm also thinking, like, we're almost like humans are becoming the bottleneck, trying to keep up with so much stuff, which is why I was trying to spawn a image of kind of what's inspiring me for a lot of this virtual war room stuff. It's y'all know about network operation centers, NOCs?
Yes.
Not offhand.
I'll show an image. Basically, this is the AT&T NOC, and it's just a place where you can get a whole bunch of, it's mission critical nerve centers type places, right? And they have them for metros and, exchanges, wherever important, infrastructure, and a bunch of people on screens, right? So imagine all those dashboards. So they could be like maybe, I don't know, that would be a lot of iframes. But imagine you walk into a world and you're just greeted with everything kind of related to whatever you want to keep up with. Maybe this is where your feeds go. Maybe where this is, like where it's the ultimate dashboard. That's what I'm trying to say. The meta dashboard, the multiplayer dashboard. Dashboards in dashboards. But I don't know what would be a good performant way. I mean, obviously, if I wanted to do XR, iframes are kind of out of question. So I was thinking like maybe it's something that just kind of takes a screenshot of a site and uploads it every now.
I was gonna say you could maybe have like some like center screens or something that is like an actual live update, and then everything else is just kind of incremental until you like move it to be focused or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's also kind of cool because it's like when you set it up this way, maybe you could get it like a version kind of history, kind of like a snapshot of what was happening on that day
Mm.
on the internet, or whatever it's tailored for. I've been playing around a lot with Puppeteer lately, so auto screenshotting would be no problem.
Mm.
I put a link in the chat for something I did a couple of years back with RSS feeds. Sort of similar idea of getting RSS feeds into some worlds.
Yo, no way. This is cool. I'm getting RSS pilled. I was not before, but now I am.
Nope.
Oh, this is neat.
So this is all still working and recent.
Yep. Yep. Most a lot of RSS feeds just don't work, but I found enough that did. They're the most interesting ones typically don't work. The Reddit feeds, for instance, don't work. Quite sure, don't remember why they didn't work, but
Are you
the
taking
RSS feed, but you
screenshots?
can't get the images out, etc. So those sort of things.
Okay, so like, how are the images made though? Oh, because I'm kind of wondering, like, if you wanted to make this performant, would you pre-bake like an atlas or?
Yeah, for this one I didn't. I just I do sort of get the images and then scale them so they fit nicely together. The whole one panel per RSS item is the image with the text next to it on a canvas texture, basically.
Whoa, it's
So I do
updating.
that, but it's not. I don't have an overall atlas or something.
How does it auto update? You just have something to kind of refresh the image?
Yeah, after a while, I actually on load I get all of the RSS feeds for the different agencies, news agencies, and then I create all of them at that point already, and then I just refresh them after a while. And it's not a lot. It quite quickly repeats. There's I don't know, but it's you have about double the items that are actually there. I think it's not that many.
I like the name
Same problem.
too.
I couldn't get enough feeds that have proper formatting and images, etc. I thought RSS feeds were quite standardized. They are not. Everyone is doing different things there.
I'm better. Learned that myself, but I also love the name too, and I think this is what's kind of missing in virtual worlds. It's like bringing in live, fresh data, so that just like whenever you pop back in there, it's something new to see.
Mm-hmm.
It actually works like that. I still so now and then go here just to read the news, just as a different format standard news. Just walk around, read the news, wait until it refreshes, walk around again, and then
There's something to that, yeah. I really think it's an underrated aspect that you don't see too often in virtual worlds, especially social virtual worlds. It's like, I mean, that's the whole selling point for a lot of social media. It's like you refresh, boom, new content.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of, when you're in your headset, I'd sort of feel silly to just browse a website. So I'd rather do this to get my news from my headset than just browse a website. Then I might as well use my phone.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of WebXR games too could benefit from, is just having some kind of like daily kind of retention mechanism built in. Like high scores are fine for like some things, but I don't know, it feels like there's not too many games out there where you could like come in every day and have like a new experience with it.
So true. And this isn't just like WebXR related, but I also see this pattern in like VR chat, for example. I mean, there's infinite worlds, so you can always log in and see something new. But same thing applies, you know. And you can make this your home space too. You could like load up this world and then load up your screen and kind of co-work in there, or just have that kind of home space set up.
Mm.
The only
Briefly
problem is you
broke
have to
after a
have.
while. Because I used to be able to click through, but I can't anymore. So something broke. Haven't been there for a while.
The only problem is you have to wear your headset all day.
Guys, actually, I wanted to ask a question to some of you,
Mhm.
to any one of you. It was regarding, I saw this website which uses CSS 3D renderer to render 3D websites directly in 2D. Sorry, yeah, in 2D website directly in 3D. Uh, so this is a very nice example of how we can get this to use. And actually, I have done lots of events with hubs where just had like more than 70-80,000 people joining in a day to experience things using behavior graph and several other experiences. So because they joined with browser using mobile phones and desktops, how we have is we have a circle where as soon as you go and stand, an iframe opens on top of you, like on the screen. Basically, it covers the screen as a pop-up. So that works really good for browser and phone users, but for people who are using VR, they actually need the websites to be inside of 3D. So uh, I just found this example. Do you guys know of something that is close enough to uh, this? Actually, I want to do this in hubs. So using 3JS and A-frame, but just cannot find an example of something like this where we have a entire 2D website where our recaster and everything is working properly with focus.
So you're looking for a way to just like kind of replicate this effect for like hubs, you said?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Hmm. So the
So
thing
if I
about
if I,
the like 2D website in 3D is the this in 3JS it's like a completely separate renderer from the WebGL one. I'm pretty sure, which does complicate things. Trying to do it with WebXR specifically, because WebXR only works with the WebGL render. But if you only wanted the effect on like the 2D um, view, then might be possible. Um, you need to probably take a look at the existing source for the CSS 3D things, because it's basically just like using the I'm sure you know, but it's just like using the CSS 3D transforms on the actual website and then hole punching into the WebGL stuff based on the transformation. So
okay.
yeah, so it's definitely doable. I think you could probably use the like glitch as a reference for actually implementing the effect. Just keep in mind that it will only work on a flat screen because of the way that it like accomplishes the actual effect itself.
Mhm. Okay, I think like for example, if we are in, if someone is on a headset and they have this 2D website on the 3D wall, like in hubs here something, like instead of the image, they have a 3D, sorry, they have a 2D website where they can interact, they can scroll, they can read, just like we already have the PDF. but PDF, the content is not interactable like the other uh, buttons that we have. That is actually interacting, but not the website itself. So I just wanted to understand like if we have some example or something like it, because I've tried to search a lot to get something like it. uh, I will actually reverse engineer this to understand a bit more how it is done in glitch, because how it is done is also very interesting. If we have a-frame example that is open, and on that 2D website itself, if we have a 3D surface, sorry, a 3D website, then we can control that inside. Like, how do I explain? But you can imagine that inside of 2D, you see a 3D model, and you can interact with that as well. You can rotate it, you can zoom in, zoom out. So it is very fascinating way through which they have implemented. So I want to do lots of things. Like for example, in hubs, uh, I have implemented a avatar creator, which is a Ready Player Me iframe. So for things like that, a headset user can spawn it in front of him, and they can select the avatar or whatever things they want to do, and uh, yeah,
Yeah,
instead of
so
Ready Player Me.
so you say one thing you were trying to go for is like letting someone who's in the headset be able to use the like avatar creation iframe.
Yeah, that is possibly one use case, which like thanks Jin for this one. So
You
this
might
is
have you looked into Hyperbeam?
okay, but actually it's too costly kind of thing because
Mm,
it is running a virtual machine inside of.
yeah.
Uh, so also it's not that I want networked interface. It's just people, they have their own. Uh, so also one more thing is that I have almost got there to build a e-commerce platform with hubs, because actually I'm from India, so I'm targeting Indian audience to use hubs, because Indian audience, there are lots of phone users, mobile users with good internet connections, and they're ready to click any link that you share them if it's a bit interesting. So I just want to introduce them to this whole thing of hubs where everyone can get their own hubs and instance, set up their e-commerce market or like their exhibition. And so right now it is doable in 2D without any problems or hassles. If I get this CSS renderer on the walls, what they will have is they can do their PayPal or anything inside of the wall itself, whatever they want to perform, uh, their payment processing and everything. And also, like if someone is joining through VR, they can also do the same process there itself. So I've almost got things up and set up. It is actually that I've seen people in the hubs over the years tried to implement this in several different ways. Like I've seen Alakazam who did this kinds of things, but they use this hyper hyper beam virtual machine, and yeah, actually, like these are some of the things which I've seen. So I think like if we have a solution to this, but just wanted to understand like why is it not like, because they have tried to get things get things started around it, but couldn't find a real way around.
But
But yeah, I think the
I
avatar builder is very helpful. Okay.
ideally you would just want to render HTML in VR.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that's not possible right now. There is there um there is this A-frame components. I just shared it. Ada Rose Cannon. Uh, I think it's almost ported it from the regular or built it on top of a regular to render HTML to a canvas and interact with that.
I think
Um,
the subset of elements it supports is very narrow, though.
that's what I say. It's very limited,
Yeah.
and it's not very performant as well.
Okay.
Um, but that's basically how far I got with
All right. How about now?
rendering HTML.
I thought there was an effort to make lower level hooks because essentially what you have to do is render. You have to do the fast rendering onto some sort of texture that you're then mapping onto that surface, right? Because you're essentially doing the same thing a compositor is doing.
Hmm.
And I had thought that there was an effort to extend some of the lower level APIs. I mean, this got into WebGL the last time I read about it, which was like 2 years ago.
I think you're talking about the like effort for like DOM layers and WebXR layers.
That
It's
that m-
it's that's the last place where it was like discussed, like getting HTML elements into XR, and it's like people want it. They know that people want it, but the like security implications of it seem to just be something that they haven't been able to work around yet.
because you have a browser within a browser.
Browser within a browser, like potentially hijacking user input in like the immersive experience, I think was one of the other big ones.
But they figured that out for iframes, or am I thinking too simplistic now?
I I would I would love to like hear like the full kind of like layout of all the security concerns that they have, because it's always referenced, and I assume that they all know what it is because they have the like working group meetings. But the only way to look back through working group meetings is to like search through notes and
Yeah.
like meeting minutes from W3, which not the most searchable. I mean, I guess they're because like even their GitHub, like the administrivia thing where they used to like record meeting um, notes, like they're not directly in there. They just add the links to like the transcribed things on W3, which doesn't have like an easy way to search for meeting minutes. You basically have to have like a direct link. Maybe someone should just ping Rick and ask.
Right. I had a little bit one last follow up with this. Uh, what does it actually stop this kinds of renderers to happen in VR headset?
So CSS 3D render it doesn't work on headset because the all the like XR related stuff like 3JS does, like spawning WebXR manager and like sending content to headset, that's purely within a WebGL context. So like only the WebGL like parts of like a experience can be rendered in headset, which is why the CSS 3D thing only works on um, like a flat screen, because you have like the WebGL scene, and then it's just letting the CSS like actual like HTML part of it be in there, like transformed to match the dimensions of wherever it would be in your WebGL thing.
Oh, okay. I think now it makes a lot sense.
Mm-hmm.
Still, I think like what I could still render it through the just the way through which video is getting rendered, like because video is also a series of textures which are
Mm-hmm.
getting rendered, right? uh, but still maintaining the context of the current WebGL or the renderer would be, yeah, I think a bit problematic. But yeah, I will surely update you guys in the next meetup on
Mhm.
how things goes, and if it goes really well, I would update in the Discord directly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Have someone been to AWE?
I have not been to AWE this year.
Because like I feel like I missed lots of WebXR news there.
Oh yeah, there was the whole like someone did like a Vision OS talk that was like very WebXR focused, right? Was
You
that
talk
AWE?
about the Zappa one?
No, it was. I'm trying to remember because I saw it on Twitter. I just remember it's only still in my mind because I saw that the CEO of Alchemy was like kind of like ripping on the presentation for being so WebXR focused.
Yeah, I saw like there was a Zapbox or something like that, and I want to try it. It's like Google Cardboard, but for AR.
Hmm. There's been a couple new tools lately, like the Zappar thing. Or no, I'm thinking of Niantic's new studio thing, and then also
Yeah.
Mattercraft.
Yeah. Um, I want to see more experiences in
Yeah.
WebXR.
Yeah, it's like I always say, it's just like content is like one of the biggest things that we just need more of.
Yeah,
The things don't
it's
get
like
added to the new tab page that often.
it's like chicken and egg. Like, okay, we need content, so we'll get some investment in WebXR games. But
And more
for
developers to work on things.
yeah, and we need the investments to have more experiences, and yeah. Mm. I'm working on like an update to World's Demolisher this month, so because it's almost 100k users at the end of this month or sometime in August. So I want to have some updates for it, like improve the gameplay, add some levels, fix some issues with the ads. I heard that Zesty has some new SDKs.
Yeah, we been working on it for a little bit. Basically integrating pre-bid, um, so which will just equal more money coming in, more ads coming in for developers. Right now, it's fully rolled out for the A-Frame and Wonderland SDKs. Unity is coming up next. We've been working out some like or I've been working out some of the difficulties with like translating pre-bid stuff to work in like immersive contexts, which has been fun. We were trying to like do something that would involve requiring every person to like update their ads txt, but that ended up not working out once we actually got like Google AdX bidding for that. So we just ended up having it be so that you got to add this SD adds txt entries, but it works. It's live on Cadenza right now. and we're waiting for Florian to be able to update some of the other HVR stuff. But yeah,
But
Unity version is coming soon. I'm
yeah,
like
so
rewriting rewriting some of our tests right now, and then that's like the next thing on my agenda.
would it be like the old zip Unity package, or would it be UPM?
Oh, I can look into getting it on UPM.
Because I'm okay with the old way, because I modified it a little bit. But I don't know. Whatever you do. So when do you think I should look at it? Because this month I'm working on the updates.
I will probably start on the Unity stuff like this coming week. So as soon as we have something that's like ready for you to try out, we'll let you know.
Cool. So okay, cool. Let me know.
What's this? Marker trackers working on WebXR for ManyQuest 3. Play this card game. Would love to have some models and effects.
I just managed to I don't know, people in the Unity channel told me that the Ready Player Me demo doesn't work with WebXR exports. So I'm looking at it.
I think I saw some chatter about that. Do you know what like the root thing that's breaking is, or?
So they have like a game object with a script that disables some of the stuff, and it's not obvious that there's this game object and that it's doing it, and it's related to the focus of the page. So once you are out of focus, the avatar is disabled and the controllers are disabled.
And then
stuff
in
like
WebXR, is it reading it all is disabled?
Yeah, so I disabled the game object and now I can see the avatar. Also, the demo of the Ready Player Me is using an older version of the XR interaction toolkit. Older version than the WebXR export demo use. So I'm now trying it, but I see like differences between the XR default input actions of those. So maybe because I see that some stuff works in the editor but doesn't work when I compile it, like locomotion stuff like turn and move and teleportation. I'll try and see what I can do.
Yeah, hopefully you get that working.
Yeah, thanks. Well, it's 1 a.m. here, so I think I'll go for now. So great having a meetup. Thanks for that.
Thank you for
Good
joining.
night.
Glad to have you. Comb Duck, I don't see you in here, but yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of work on marker tracking at the moment. I forget if Chrome has it as like a trial or not. Cause I know if it would be anywhere, it would probably be in like Chrome Android or something.
Behind the flag then, or something.
Maybe. I don't know. Marker tracking is one of the few things that I haven't like done a lot with, so I'm not too confident about the current state of that. Oh, he wasn't even in here. Oh, cool, cool.
Also,
I see. It was you entered the room, not entered the lobby. That's why that's confusing. Okay, but yeah, we are coming up on the 2 hour mark, so I think I may go ahead and sign off for now.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for hosting.
Yeah,
Pretty late.
great to have everyone here. All right. I will see you at the next one.
It's last Sunday of next month.
Yes. Yeah, the event time for this one should be correct already.
Is it 10? Oh, it's for me. It's 10. It's 4 Eastern. I think it is then.
Should be 3 Eastern. I think we did it an hour later today, but
We need to update it in the event schedule then.
okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that then.
Okay, cool. So it's probably an hour early next month.
Yeah.
And from back to the original. That's better for me at least. and Dean Panther as well. If it's one.
Can finish at midnight instead of 1.
Yes. Well,
All right. See you guys around.
have a great rest of your day. Even though mine is still 3 minutes left.